There is a specific moment, a split second actually, where the trajectory of your entire life is decided. It happens before the sun comes up. It happens before you've checked your emails, before you've had your coffee, and before the chaos of the world has a chance to sink its teeth into you. It is the moment your alarm goes off. Most people, the vast majority of the population living in what I call the gray zone, treat this moment as an enemy. They hit the snooze button, they pull the covers up, they negotiate with themselves, saying, "Just 5 more minutes." And in that seemingly insignificant act of surrender, they have already lost the day. They have already decided that comfort is more important than progress. But there is another breed, a smaller, sharper, more dangerous group of individuals. When that alarm sounds at 5 a.m., they don't negotiate. They execute. They swing their legs out of bed, they plant their feet on the cold floor, and they stand up. And in that movement, they claim the first victory of the day. I want to tell you a story about a routine, a specific morning ritual used by one of the most successful billionaires on the planet. It takes exactly 15 minutes. It doesn't require a gym membership. It doesn't require expensive supplements. But it is the difference between a life of reaction and a life of dominion. He wakes up at 4:45 a.m. By 5:00 a.m., he is in a chair. For the first 5 minutes, he does not move. He practices what ancient Stoics called premeditatio malorum. He visualizes the obstacles of the day. He sees the problems before they happen. He prepares his mind for the chaos. For the next 5 minutes, he writes down 3 things he is grateful for, rewiring his brain's reticular activating system to scan the world for opportunity rather than threat. And for the final 5 minutes, he reads a single page of a philosophy book. 15 minutes. Silence, gratitude, wisdom. That is it. That is the secret. It's not a 3-hour workout. It's a psychological primer. By 5:15 a.m., while his competitors are drooling onto their pillows, this man has already fortified his mind. He has already won the battle for his own psychology before the war of the day has even begun. This is the 5M revolution. And if you are listening to this, chances are you are tired. You are tired of feeling behind. You are tired of feeling like the world is happening to you rather than you happening to the world. You are tired of mediocrity. Let's be honest about why you are here. You feel a lag in your life. There is a disconnect between what you know you are capable of and what you are actually producing. You wake up feeling groggy, rushed, and immediately behind schedule. You grab your phone the second your eyes open, flooding your brain with cortisol and other people's priorities. You spend the rest of the day putting out fires, exhausted, promising yourself that tomorrow will be different. But tomorrow is never different, is it? Because you are trapped in a biological and psychological loop of failure. This brings us to the cold truth. I need you to listen closely, because this is the part that hurts. Your current failure to wake up early is not a sleep issue. It is a character issue. You are not tired because you need more sleep. You are tired because you are uninspired. You are hitting snooze because you have nothing to wake up for. You are living a life of have to, not get to. You are sedating yourself with late-night scrolling, binge-watching Netflix, and eating garbage before bed, because your days are so unfulfilling that you are terrified of ending them. You stay up late not because you are productive, but because you are trying to reclaim a sense of control that you surrendered at 7 a.m. when you hit snooze. That is the brutal reality. The snooze button is a symptom of a life that lacks a mission. If you knew that at 5:05 a.m. there was a suitcase with $1 million sitting in your driveway, you wouldn't hit snooze. You wouldn't even need an alarm. you would be awake, alert, and ready. The 5 a.m. wake-up isn't about the time on the clock. It is about proving to yourself that your word matters. It is about demonstrating that you are the master of your biology, not a slave to your comfort. So, how do we fix this? How do you transition from a snooze-button zombie to a high-performance machine? You don't do it by relying on willpower. Willpower is a finite resource, and frankly, at 5 a.m., yours is depleted. You need a system. I want to introduce you to a man named David. Not a billionaire, not a celebrity, just a regular guy who felt like he was drowning. David was an entrepreneur whose business was flatlining. His marriage was strained because he was always stressed. He was 20 pounds overweight and suffering from crippling anxiety. He told himself he was a night owl. He said he did his best work at midnight. But the truth was, from 9 p.m. to 1 a.m., David wasn't working. He was worrying. He was doom-scrolling. He was numbing himself. He woke up every day at 8 a.m. feeling like he'd been hit by a truck. David decided to try the 5 a.m. revolution. He didn't try to change his life overnight. He just changed his morning. He committed to the process I'm about to teach you. Within 6 months, David had written a book. He had lost the weight. His business revenue doubled, not because he worked more hours, but because he worked better hours. He told me, I didn't find time. I created it. Here is the roadmap. The laws of the early riser. Law number 1, the dopamine fast. You cannot wake up at 5 a.m. if you are stimulating your brain until 1 a.m. This is non-negotiable. The quality of your morning is determined the night before. Most people destroy their sleep hygiene by flooding their brains with blue light and cheap dopamine from screens. You must create a digital sunset. 1 hour before you intend to sleep, the screens go off. No exceptions. This is where the science of neuroplasticity comes in. Your brain needs to downregulate. It needs to shift from beta wave states, alert, anxious, busy, to alpha and theta states. When you scroll in bed, you are keeping your brain in a state of hyperarousal. You are essentially injecting adrenaline right before sleep. So, the first law is to protect your sleep environment. Make your room cold. Make it dark. Treat your sleep not as a passive activity, but as an active recovery process. If you are serious about dominating life, you must be serious about recovery. You cannot drive a Formula One car on flat tires. Law number 2, the alarm clock distance. This is a simple tactical maneuver, but it changes everything. Most people keep their phone on their nightstand. This is a trap. It makes the snooze button too accessible. It makes the temptation to check notifications too easy. Move your phone or your alarm clock to the other side of the room. Or better yet, outside the room in the hallway. When that alarm goes off at 5 a.m., you have 2 choices. Lie there and listen to the most annoying sound on earth, or get up and turn it off. Physics dictates that once you are standing up, you are 90% of the way there. You have engaged your muscles. You have broken the seal of the bed. You are awake. Now, don't think. Just move. Law number 3, the hydration catalyst. You have just gone 6, 7, 8 hours without water. Your brain is dehydrated. That brain fog you feel, that is dehydration. Before you have coffee, before you check your phone, drink a large glass of water. This isn't just about hydration. It is about signaling to your metabolism that the fast is over. It wakes up your internal organs. It creates a ritual. It replaces the habit of reaching for a screen with a habit of reaching for life. This takes 30 seconds, but it sets the physiological tone for the day. You are alert, you are fueled, you are ready. Law number 4, the hour of power. This is the core of the revolution. If you wake up at 5 a.m. only to check your email, you have missed the point. You have just extended the workday into the morning. The 5 a.m. hour is not for the world. It is for you. Robin Sharma calls this the 5 a.m. club. I call it the psychological sanctuary. From 5 a.m. to 6 a.m., you are untouchable. The world is asleep. Your boss is asleep. Your kids are asleep. The emails can wait. Here is how you structure this hour. The first 20 minutes are for movement, sweat. It doesn't matter if it's yoga, push-ups, or a run. You need to spike your cortisol naturally. You need to get your heart rate up. This combats depression and anxiety better than any medication. The next 20 minutes are for mindfulness. Journaling, meditation, or reading. This is where you download wisdom. This is where you visualize your goals. You are feeding your subconscious mind the right food before the world feeds it junk. The final 20 minutes are for your one thing. What is the most important project in your life right now? Is it a business plan? A book? Learning a language? Spending time with your family? Use this time to make progress on that one thing. Imagine doing that every single day for a year. That is 365 hours of deep work. That is mastery. Law number 5, the ripple effect. This is where the magic happens. When you conquer your morning, you don't just get more done, you change your identity. You start to see yourself as a disciplined person. You walk into work with a quiet confidence. While everyone else is chugging coffee and complaining about Monday, you have already exercised. You have already read, you have already accomplished a major goal. This creates a psychological momentum. It's the compound effect in action. One small win at 5 a.m. leads to better food choices at lunch. Better food choices lead to better focus in the afternoon. Better focus leads to better results. Better results lead to higher self-esteem. You are not just waking up early. You are building a fortress of character. You are proofing yourself against the chaos of the modern world. Think about the greats. Tim Cook, the CEO of Apple, wakes up at 3:45 a.m. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is in the gym by 4 a.m. Michelle Obama is working out before the sun rises. Do they do this because they have to? No. They do it because they know that the quiet of the morning is the only time they can hear their own voice. They know that while the competition is sleeping, they are working. But here is the thing. You don't have to be a CEO to benefit from this. You don't need to be an athlete. You just need to be someone who refuses to settle. You need to be someone who looks at the version of themselves that hits snooze and says, "No more." You might be thinking, "But I'm a night person." Let me challenge that. How do you know? Have you actually tried the alternative? Or have you just accepted that label because it justifies your lack of discipline? Science shows that chronotypes exist, yes, but the vast majority of people are not biologically bound to mediocrity. They are habitually bound to it. You can shift your circadian rhythm. It takes about 2 weeks of pain, 2 weeks of feeling tired at 9 p.m., 2 weeks of fighting the urge to sleep in. But on the other side of that discomfort lies a life of freedom. I want you to picture yourself 6 months from now. Imagine waking up before the alarm even goes off. Your eyes snap open. You feel rested. You feel a sense of purpose. The house is quiet. The coffee is brewing. You sit down at your desk, and for the next hour, the only thing that exists is you and your potential. You are sharper. You are calmer. You are healthier. This is the 5 a.m. revolution. It is a rebellion against average. It is a declaration of war against your own laziness. So tonight, I want you to make a decision. Not a wish, a decision. Set the alarm for 5 a.m. Move it across the room. Commit to the first law. Commit to the water. Commit to the first 20 minutes of movement. It will be hard. It will be cold. Your brain will scream at you to go back to sleep. That voice is your old self. That voice is the part of you that wants to stay small. Don't negotiate with it. Don't argue with it. Just get up. The world doesn't need more people who sleep in. The world needs more people who are awake. Truly awake. Rise and grind. Dominate your morning, and you will dominate your life. I will see you at 5 a.m.